One, two, can you get a little more music, bro? Yeah, more if I can. Alright,
The number 5 best album of 2012 is Mike Tyson by Sean Price. The internet's been hungry for this for the last couple of years, and Sean Price just came through and delivered a sick, short album. Not a lot of, there's no skits, there's not a lot of high concept story raps. It's just a kind of old school, gritty, grimy, shut up and listen to me rap type New York hip hop that we don't get nearly enough anymore. The songs are short, 2.5 minutes tops. Some of them don't have choruses, but the rhymes are just out of this world, and the beats are just sick too. So if you miss that old school basement duck down hip hop, definitely get your hands on Mike Tyson by Sean Price. Also, this is my 5th favorite album of the year, but my 1st favorite album artwork.
Yeah, I like a really huge ass.
My 4th favorite album of the year actually features 4 of the best MCs in the game right now, and that's Welcome to R.A.P by Slaughterhouse. Of course, it's Joe Budden, Joel Ortiz, Crooked I, and Royce the 5'9". And I'm going to go ahead and say it, I don't think there's been a group with this many great rappers in it since Wu-Tang Clan. And these 4 guys just get it together and bring their A game on this album. They got the Eminem co-sign, obviously, a couple verses from Eminem, which are typically amazing, like pretty much everything he does. And then I'm sure that connection got them some of the big guests on this, like Skylar Grey, Busta Rhymes, CeeLo. The CeeLo track, which is the first single, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think he should have taken the coolest rap group in the game right now and linked them up with the most overexposed man in music. But other than that, I think this album pretty much hits on all cylinders. Hammer Dance was a sick single, one of the best videos of the year. I thought them going around South by Southwest and kind of mixing up and kind of showing them get to the next level of the industry. And they really took the formula they set forth back in 2009 and cultivated through the last couple of years with online, internet, and just the epic freestyles and brought all that to the next level with Welcome to Our House.
We make it cool to be something.
My 3rd favorite album of 2012 is Big Crit's Live from the Underground, his debut on Def Jam Records after a string of just phenomenal mixtapes, and this kind of like the cherry on top of his collection from probably 2010 until now. If you're not familiar with Big Crit, the best way to think about him is it's Andre and Big Boy from Outkast combined into one guy. And I say that because there's tracks he does that are kind of your typical Dirty South strip club anthems, and then he turns around and makes a song about his grandmother passing away or relationship issues he's having with his girl, and just does both phenomenally well. So I don't think there's much to be asked for on this album. The one kind of criticism I would give, and this is just personal, there's a couple too many of those Dirty South party strip club records, and not as many as slow, introspective thinking man's Big Crit. But overall, this is a tight collection and definitely worth checking out. Download the mixtapes, buy this album in the stores, and it's really one of the better albums from the South we've seen in a long time.
Fresh out of school, cause I was a high school grad.
My 2nd favorite album of 2012 is Good Kid, M.A.A.d by Kendrick Lamar. Now, this is going on every single critic's end of the year list, so I'm not going to waste your time with stuff you've heard 10 times already. But realize this, Kendrick Lamar is a great MC. Linking up with Dr. Dre to put Compton and West Coast back on the map was a great move. And this album is everything you can want from a debut album, basically because it's not your typical debut album. It's not like, okay, here's my MTV song, here's my pop song, here's my street song. It's completely different. It tells a story from beginning to end about a day in his life and what it's like living in Compton, California. And it's great. It tells a great story. Lyrically, everything works. Beat-wise, everything works. There's only one appearance by Dr. Dre, which personally I expected a little more Dr. Dre involvement, but it definitely works for the overall strength of the project, just having him on that one song. So, it's already been hailed as a classic. It came out at midnight, I think October 24th. By about 12:15, the internet was on fire saying he's the next Nas or the next Jay-Z. Now, honestly, that remains to be seen. But as far as a debut album and coming out really strong, one of the best albums of 2012, not sure it gets much better than Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, M.A.A.d. Also, I like this album so much, I bought this hat.
Middle fingers up on the Titanic as it's going down.
My number 1 album, or I should say albums for 2012, because I'm kind of cheating on this one, is 2 albums produced by the same guy, and that's LP's Cancer for Cure and Killer Mike's Rap Music, which I don't have on physical copy, but I downloaded from iTunes. But these 2 albums came out a week apart from each other in May, and they just took two artists that were really at the top of their game and brought them to the next level. If you don't know about LP, he's a producer and a rapper that makes powerful, in-your-face hip-hop. So think about Public Enemy, that kind of music that you cannot ignore it, and that's what LP makes. On top of that, he linked up with Killer Mike during the year, and they released rap music, which it came out phenomenal. When you heard about it, you're like, what is this? It's a joke. How's it going to work? Killer Mike's a Dirty South MC. LP is so backpack hip-hop, New York. How's that going to work? Well, it's going to work out great is what's going to happen. So LP's album is typical LP. He puts out an album every 5 years, and when he does, it's an event. The rhymes are insanely intricate, a ton of internal rhymes. It's the kind of album you listen to over and over again, and you just pick out more stuff. It's been out 7 months now. I'm still finding stuff rhyme-wise I didn't realize was going on the first couple times I heard it. So it's really a great testament to him and his career, and great to see him get that love outside of that underground hip-hop community, you know, and get a good rating on Pitchfork and have hipsters start to like it and sell out shows all over the country. And I don't think that could happen to a better guy than LP. And then the other project he worked on this year was Killer Mike's Rap Music. I reviewed that on the website when it came out back in May, and it was just kind of the best collaboration because not everybody could rap over LP beats. You got to be a big personality with big rhymes and strong concepts, and Killer Mike just delivered on that 100%. He took kind of what he'd been doing for the last couple of years of, you know, socially conscious but aggressive hip hop, linked it up with LP, who does that about as good as anybody in the game, and then they just made one of the best albums of the year with rap music. So I can't pick, I don't know which one I like more, but I think as two albums coming out together, it's kind of like companion pieces. LP's Cancer for Cure and Killer Mike's Rap Music were easily the two best albums of 2012. So that's going to wrap it up for FifthRoundMovement.com's look at the best albums of 2012. Now, this was just the 5 best albums available at retail. Obviously, there's a ton of good mixtapes, a ton of good tracks out, a ton of great live shows happened this year. I think it's a great time to be a hip-hop fan. Honestly, I believe if somebody tries to tell you this is a bad time and hip-hop fell off and it's over, punch them in the face because they couldn't be more wrong. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Mr. Fifth Round, and we'll see you next time on FifthRoundMovement.com.